Now we're going to try this again. I don't know. Satellites, Toronto. I can't believe it. I can't believe how bad cell service really is here. And internet. It's amazing to say the least. We're going to try again. So I put two videos, one video on Queen Elizabeth II's speech to the UN General Assembly as it was, recorded by C-SPAN in 2010, made available worldwide in 2019. That's all her words. Start at the 10-minute mark, get the introductory, hear Queen Elizabeth's full speech, not Canada's propagated 1 minute 30 seconds of her speech or the rest of the baloney that went out worldwide, chopped, spliced into what narrative they wanted Canada to see, or other nations. We're not going to get into those, but what the world of colonials is supposed to see and what actually was the speech in its entirety, not edited, brought to you by C-SPAN, released on UN.org in 2019. I'm re-releasing it for all of you to back up everything I claim. It's real. Elections Canada, pandemic, what the chief executive officer wants to do, what the Canadian government wants to do with elections, how they've changed Indigenous elections, what they, I got this stupid window here, the screen's open, so all the bugs fly in here every day. I'm swatting flies. It sucks. It's part and parcel of low housing in Toronto. So expensive, you don't get anything decent here. Not for any kind of real money. Hard for the young population, which you will hear about from Queen Elizabeth II. You can watch her entire video. She goes into that too. That she called that this was coming. This was coming for the young generation, that they would be left out of this world order. It's a great video by Her Majesty after 50 years absent in the UN. And why is she absent in the UN? Because she has no power whatsoever. Ruled illegal absolutely by 1960. But if any of you take the time to read the UN Charter, you're going to find everything you're told in Canada is an absolute lie. The General Assembly can make any proposal they wish. The UNSC determines if that's going to go forward. And if it breaks the UN Charter, it doesn't go forward. 99% of everything the General Assembly brings forward gets thrown in the garbage can. If you want to know how that works, all you have to do is read the UN Charter of 1945. That is world binding law. The entire world signed on. I've shared all of this with you many times, all of you. And still Canadians try to go with narratives that are fraudulent, fake, videos from other countries. And again, you don't wish to see the world as it really is. You want to see it the way someone presents it to you in their own narrative, which is a hijack, which is a lie. No stranger to lies in Canada. We're the most lied to citizens in the world. There's other nations. Iran, you could put there. You could go to Venezuela. They're lied to there. You can go to Palestine. They're lied to there. Do you want to be any of those countries, Canadians? As long as you continue with the false narratives, as long as you continue, you are heading straight for Iran. You're heading straight for Venezuela. And the worst of the worst is becoming a Palestine, which many of you still post on my timeline. Let's leave the UN. Let's become Palestine. Do you know what Palestine is? They're a country that's not in the UN, and they're not going to ever be allowed to be in the UN. So when your country or groups in Canada tell you, oh, Palestine, we have to follow this narrative, we have to leave the UN, political parties telling you to leave the UN. They're trying to turn you into a Venezuela, an Iran, or worse of all of that is a Palestine. Look it up. It's all true. Check out the links I provided for you. Elections Canada has not been shut down. It's not going to be. The COVID pieces put in there are in the worst case scenario that a snap election's called. Here we are. That was put in 2020 in March. Here we are in 2021. No snap election a year later. Not going to be a snap election. Not going to be an early election. More than likely, 90% accurate is the fact that Justin Trudeau is going to go all the way to November 2023. That's reality. Sorry, Canadians. I know there's so much propaganda. And if you think that the Conservatives or Liberals are any different from each other, you are sadly mistaken. All these little spin-off federal parties telling you all their narratives. We got Maverick, we got PPC. Liars, liars, liars. Check out Maverick's registration. Sorry to burst your bubble, but Canadians like to be lied to. Go look in absolute law at Maverick Party's registration in Canada. Look at it. Look at it. They say, oh, that's not a problem. It is a problem. Because you're with the Conservative Party of Canada. You're absolutely sworn. You're part of the Privy Council, which I've gone into detail with all of you. They're all part of the autocracy. So is PPC. Maxime Bernier. I've had enough talks now. It's over. People can come slam me. They can try slanderous ideas. I will sue you. I will sue you for any false, misleading statements that slander my character. I will sue you, and I will take you for everything you're worth, and I'll win. And it'll be funny. Maybe that's a good way to get around Canada. Maybe I should do what everybody else does, is rob the robbers, right? But unfortunately, Canadians, the sad reality is it's out of your pockets. That's why I don't do it. That's why I don't ask you for money at this stage. I don't. There will be a time, but it's far, far away. It's in 2023 when we get to that stage and we're ready and it's needed to get the 338. We'll get there, but it's not now. What's now in front of you is truth, which is what this video is. You can listen to Queen Elizabeth in her entirety. That's for RCMP and it's for military. I'm not looking to usurp Canada. I'm not no tyrant. I'm the opposite of that. It's all about truth. It's truth for everybody. We can't have privileged organizations running the country from the private sector through a corrupt government. The pure autocratic government. Hands down, I've proved my case. It's in this video. You can listen to Queen Elizabeth II. This is especially, it's for all Canadians, but it's especially for RCMP and military. Watch Queen Elizabeth's video in its absolute entirety, as it really was, brought to you by C-SPAN, who reports for one of the UNSC members, the United States of America. Accurate, real, not a fake video, the entire video. Not a minute, not a clip, not a lie. The entire video. Elections Canada in its entire publication. And sure, politicians left and right would love to see all that enacted, but it's not going to happen. We're going to go to 2023. They're going to play their games. If they get scared, which they are scared, they may try to do something, but likely not going to happen. And even if they did, it's not going to change the fact that you're only going to make the CCP stronger. Now, I also have an email, everybody. The Canadians Communist Party has already made a legal challenge on the CCP. I use big C, little CP. Now, one of the registered parties in Canada is the Canadian Communist Party. That's registered here in Canada. They use big C, and P. And what's happening now is I'm legally being challenged right now by the Canadian legal system, which is using the UK legal system. I must be entirely capitalized, which means I must take away constitutionalism. That's what I'm being challenged on. They want the little c taken out. They want me to change the name of the party. I knew this was coming. I knew this was going to come. It's going to be great for me to present to the UNSC and also challenge the legal system in Canada, as in our Constitution, capitalization was removed. Was removed. That's absolute. That was the British system. It's not anymore. Now, Elections Canada is saying, no, Dave Bjorkman, you can't distinguish your party with lowercase. That's not British legal system. Well, we're not in the British legal system. We're in Canada. We're legal in this country as we are and as it is. And world law is spoken. So I'm going to take that challenge and I'm going to publish to all of you and just show you just how bad Canada really is and what they will do and stop at nothing to dissolve. Because the worst thing that could ever happen to Canadians, as far as our autocrats are concerned, that you will learn of constitutionalism like 90% of the world. 90% of the world knows what constitutionalism is. That monarchy system, there's only 14 nations by the end of this year that are going to be left. I've told you all this. The crown keeps getting smaller and smaller. The circle gets smaller and smaller. It's a spiral down a drain. Down a drain. That's what's going to happen to Canada. And your autocrats are viciously, your politicians are viciously fighting to keep that alive. Limited privileged Canadians in many organizations, civil societies, are doing whatever it takes to keep that alive. I've already rolled out which ones those are. There's a whole giant list of them. And I'm getting pinged, messaged, and just phoned steady. Anyways, that's the video. This is truth. This is reality. Every Canadian should watch the video. Every Canadian should read Elections Canada. And more, I'm going to go into military in a separate video for just Canadian military. And further, we're going to get into legality. I am being challenged by none other than the Communist Party of Canada, which is actually the Canadian Communist Party, legally. They're legally registered. Big C, P. I want big C, little c, P. And they're challenging me. So already the communists in Canada and the Canadian system, they're all together. They love the autocracy. Don't kid yourselves. They love the autocracy. They want to shut me down and say I'm not allowed to use the little c because that's not British legal law. However, Canada's constitution outlawed that as well too. They use small letters all the time. My challenge is going to be on the world stage and in Canada and in the UK coming that I do get to keep the big C, little CP party, and that it is distinguishable and it's absolutely legal not only in Canada but worldwide. Why would the Canadian autocrats want to get rid of the big C, little c? It's because they don't want you Canadians to know what most of the rest of the world knows. They don't want you to become educated in constitutionalism because it will destroy absolutely their autocratic system of governance, ruled illegal because it's colonial. That's the truth. This is coming. It's a big morning. It's a big morning indeed. I don't know how RCMP are going to stomach going forward. I don't know how Chief Justice Wagner can stomach going forward. At some point he has to choose. Are you a man of law or are you a man of dictatorships? Which one are you? Which one are you? Do you follow law, or is that just bull. Canada is coming to an end as it is. Whether I'm here or not, regardless of me, it's coming to an end, but I'm going to continue. Share this video. Take the time to go through the links. Watch the C-SPAN video in its entirety, starting at the 10-minute mark. You can watch the whole thing. Leader addresses were done in 2019, which revitalized that. C-SPAN has always had the video, but for the first time, it was put on UN.org, registered. Hear Queen Elizabeth II's true words to the entire world, especially the Commonwealth, that the Commonwealth countries will keep from you. Man, I gotta get the fly swatter out. This sucks. This sucks. What a dump. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.